Let me address the survivors because that's
What's going on, everybody? Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Taco Tuesday. I am Spencer Hart, your host and producer of the Uncomfortable Narrative Podcast, joined, as always, by the fact checker and the smart one. It's Angela J. Hello. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th. If I could fit this on my noggin with my headphones, I would.
You've got the lightsaber behind you. It's totally fine. We have another exciting episode today. Just kind of covering all the crap that's going on in the world. Let's take a look at what we got here today. We're going to talk about the ongoing Strait of Hormuz crisis. Project Operation Freedom is no longer. Took an entire day. We'll also talk about a couple of other things, including the 22nd Amendment, the Minnesota State Senate passing the first ever ban on semi-automatic guns, and we'll wrap up with something breaking from, of all places, TMZ, which we should talk about real quick, because TMZ, like, while we were growing up, TMZ was just like a celebrity gossip channel. That was pretty much it. And all of a sudden, over the last year, maybe 18 months, they've kind of delved into this whole political world, and I think it's because they want to just shit on Trump forever. Which I'm totally down for.
It's been since like the Nancy Guthrie issue, like since her disappearance.
Yeah.
It's been since then that they've been like, oh, we're kind of like gonna put the paparazzi, like they still do the paparazzi stuff in the background still, but like they've been really going in on the politicians as of late, because they're like, this is where people want to get their stuff. So like they obviously know that there's been a change in demand of like where they want their news and like where they want to get their where they want to get that scratch itched. So it's kind of interesting like how they've changed, but it's good that they've changed a little bit.
Yeah, they've changed for the better. And I know it's exciting. When I found out that they opened an office in Washington D.C., I'm like, oh, it's over. It's over. TMZ's coming in. Hello, Cassian.
Yeah, Cassian.
Hello to the kitty. So let's start with the opening bell. Again, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, despite what some, I guess, are saying. It's getting rough. At least I don't know where it is by you over in
Minnesota.
But here in Wisconsin. But here in Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin with love.
Gas prices are like, I think it was $4.59 last time I checked, and that was a week ago. It was like, I think it was $3.47 or something like that. Still fucking high, but all of a sudden, just like the gas prices went through the fucking roof.
So I talk with my sister a lot about this, because like we constantly like send each other back and forth like pictures, because like even though it's like a 3.5 hour drive, it's interesting like the difference in prices. So I just talked to her yesterday, and I had gotten off of the highway and I just got off the highway to like one of the most expensive quick trips in the area, and it was $4 for unleaded 88, which is like the cheaper,
like the
unleaded.
normal kind of gas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 88 is the one
the,
above.
Yeah, the unleaded 88 is like the cheaper gas, and then the regular, like your regular schmegular unleaded was like $4.50 or whatever like that. And I'm like, never in my existence. I'm 33, like we're both 33 years old. I have never seen gas above $4 a gallon in either of the states that I've lived in.
Yeah. I know that for a little while there was a brief moment. I think it was during Trump's first term, or it might have been a little bit before then, actually. It might have been during the Obama administration, but gas like briefly went above $4.
No, it was above. It went like $3.50.
Okay.
And it was during Trump's first term. It was during his first. It was that summer, and I remember it being really high, and everyone was complaining, and he was guaranteeing it was going to come down, and it eventually did come down. I'm not saying that he was lying about that, because it did come down, but It was around like 389.
And so I mean, still out of control, of course, but
I
still.
don't know.
It's,
Those diesel drivers though. Oh my gosh, those poor semi drivers.
yeah, I think at Quick Trip, I mean, the one that's right next to my house, I think it was like $5.99 for for a gallon of gas and diesel. I'm like, thank God I don't drive diesel because I would just want to, do something I can't really say on the air. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, we take a look here. I have a kind of a graphic here. We take a look at the prices since Trump took office, and I mean, fuel oil 44% up, juice 25, gasoline 18.9, all the big things, nothing but up. Red 3%, medical care 3.1. It's insane how much to think all of these different prices just went nuts over the last year.
It's disappointing. Actually, I stumbled on an article before, as I was searching up like different articles about like gas prices and how they've risen. Before the Iran war, there was a article through the like e-commerce or whatever. There was an article through. I'm actually looking it up right now, briefly. It was through the U.S. Oh yeah, U.S. Energy Information Administration. So this was published in January of this year, and it says, and the headline is as of January 20th, 2026. Says EIA expects lower gasoline prices in 2026 and 2027 as crude oil prices fall.
Yeah, I mean it's nuts because we heard that gas prices will go back down to what they were supposed to be at the end of the war.
Isn't that
the
insane?
end of the war? It's the end of the war is not a thing right now. It's an illusion. It's something that's, first of all, this is going to go well into 2027.
Yeah,
normal people like you and me, we're fucked. Gas price is going to hit probably $6-7. I mean, it's already hit that in California, probably New York. Down where my parents are in Florida because they're old.
because they're old.
They're old. Gas prices even down there are high. So it's just insane. They're like, don't worry. Look at the dangling keys. Look at the diggly. While we fight a war that nobody is approving of, and every single day we're cucking more and more Americans.
Yeah.
That are just trying to live.
That's the funny part too, because he literally just like I had a meltdown yesterday because of like what he's asking more money for. And it's like he asked for $1.5 trillion more for this war through 2027. And it's like you just said that you're gonna win this war and everything's gonna be fine, but yet you're asking for more money for next year already.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And then there's the Business Insider article that's just like, trying to explain like why gas prices should be expected to end up to $5 a gallon on average.
Yeah, and I mean, even then, I mean that's not going to be the end all be all. Like I said, it's probably going to be $6-7 before. Never mind. I won't say that. We'll get canceled. But I mean, it's to a point where nobody is supporting this war. I mean, nobody was supporting the war to begin with, but now they're super duper. Why are you flipping me off?
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
It's getting to a point where normal everyday people that had the ways and means to live before all of this started are now kind of up shit's creek without a paddle because there's no out for us. There's no the war will be done in a week, in 2 weeks. That was, what day are we on? I think it's like day 65 of Operation Epstein Fury. I mean, come on. It's
I'm not saying we because I didn't ask for this. Like if Iran is watching our podcast right now.
Hi.
We didn't ask for this.
We didn't.
I'm begging you, please.
Nope.
We did not.
Nope. Somebody put a stop to it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. when Trump started on the January 28th, I believe. Not January, February.
There
My
you go.
bad. Um, that is now at 60 some odd days now, 65.
Yeah.
And he technically only had 60 days without congressional approval. But because of the fact that we have a Republican majority in both the Congress and the Senate, House and the Senate, sorry, we are kind of just left to suffer, even
And
though
fend for ourselves. Yeah.
the problem is though is that we have some Democrats that are folding, and then but there are some Republicans that are like, what the heck are we doing?
Right.
So that's the whole problem, is that we have an
Well, we have a
elected
we have a Congress that won't do shit to keep the executive branch in check.
yeah.
You know, and who of all people said that we should keep the executive branch with checks and balances? The fucking king said, hey,
Yeah.
we should, you know, the executive branch should have checks and balances. And I'm thinking to myself, did I just like have a stroke? Because the fucking king of England is telling us that we should not let the executive branch just basically do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. It's kind of insane that we had like our own, like we had a monarch come to American soil that we like literally fought away from, and he spoke more eloquently.
Yeah.
And granted, like most people, like by popularity and by the people's vote, like they don't like King Charles either because
Right.
of by, you know, pop culture and everything. But at the same time, like you just have to understand that it's been so long since we've had a well-spoken politician, especially in the presidential seat. It's been since Obama.
Yeah.
And granted, like I'm not sitting here saying that Biden was not well-spoken. He was very well-spoken, but he was so much more older,
Yeah.
and he also like struggled with the stutter. So, and because of his age, he would ramble.
Right.
So it just ended up being like a mess. And I didn't like Biden as a president either. There's a lot of things that he did well, but there's a lot of things that he did not do very well on. Like there's a lot of things that I could go in depth on, but I think what the problem is that we loved having King Charles here because he spoke so eloquently and he said so many things that, like, yes, we all agree as the American people that there are a lot of things that we do not see eye to eye on, and that there are a lot of things, like the call is coming from inside the house. But at the same time, like this is a king, this is a monarch that is literally coming to American soil and did the same like Trump maneuver, like shook his hand and pulled him in the same way that Trump tried to do with multiple other politicians. And like they're about the same age. They're about the same age.
Mhm.
And it just astounds me like how old some of these people are. And we need term limits. And I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired.
You and me both. I mean, it's this sucks, you know, because
Yeah.
it's getting out of control, and I would put every single dollar in my waning savings account that there's no out. Trump had no out when he started this. He's like, we're just gonna go in and bomb the shit out of them, and they're just gonna do what we say. No, that's not how this works. If you want them to do something you want to do, you use diplomacy. You don't whip your small dick out and start smacking people in the face with it. You don't. You have to use diplomacy. It didn't work in the past. It did. It did.
Well,
to a point, you know.
yeah, and the thing is, it's like, yes, like I understand like why people voted for him, because like he's not like at first, especially at first, because he's not the typical politician. He's not as like well spoken, or like, you know, he doesn't like beat around the bush, and I get that.
Yeah.
But you also have to consider like the day, like before he took office, or even before the Iran war, like gas was like $2.25 here at least. Like even whereabouts you live in Wisconsin, like gas
240, I think
was,
it was, something like
yeah,
that.
like it averaged between like 220 to 250 or whatever.
Yeah, depending on where you
And
were in the city. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And that's the thing, like this is gas in the Midwest at least. If you went to the either coast, like that, it's going to drastically change. But prices of everything was different. We also at that time we were very much in a crisis of bird flu, and um I told my coworkers at that time, it's like he has a perfect opportunity right now to look amazing and take care of this bird flu issue. And he swept it under the rug and made farmers and businesses take on the front of that and deal with it on their own.
Hmm.
And while that happened, we had drastic costs of eggs, and that was his issue this whole entire time, and he still brings that up. It's
Hmm.
like, oh, how the cost of eggs have come down. Of course they've come down because there's no longer bird flu,
Right.
because people have had to kill their entire stock of chickens in order to remedy that issue because you refused to step in and help.
Yeah.
So there he could have easily made himself look really good very easily. Not, and it didn't have to do anything with wars or with um diplomacy. It didn't have to do with anything. It just had to deal with agriculture, which is what America is founded on and like what we want to put money into.
Hmm.
And instead he wants to just blow people up and blow countries up. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing about it because you know what, when he was voted in, and I'm like, and I woke up the next morning and I was devastated and I wanted to cry all day. I was like, you know what, people who are just celebrating in the streets, like, you know what? I hope he does well. I hope he takes his country and does the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Because then because then you can tell me that you told me so.
Right.
But can you tell me that you told me so right now?
Oh.
No,
No.
because right now everybody is struggling.
Hmm.
Unless you are a millionaire or a billionaire, everybody is struggling. Everyone's feeling that struggle or that tightening of their belts or that bootstrap or whatever. And I think with this gas price issue, there's more to it than just the price of gas.
Hmm.
It has to do with your grocery prices. They're gonna continue to go up because I don't think anyone really thinks about the price of gas that a semi has to take on, and like a semi company or like the transport company has to take on. Like it used to be around like $600 to $800 for a semi to fill up. It's doubled since then, or at least gone up by 30% since then.
Yeah.
So considering that they have to sit here and take on the front of that issue, who do you think is going to take on that extra money? The consumer.
Right.
It's the same issue with the tariffs. It's the same freaking issue with the tariffs. And it really disappoints me because no one wants to see that. No one wants to see the truth behind it. They just want to be like, "Oh, it's going to get better." Da, 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 or they refuse to acknowledge it.
Yeah. No, I'm there 100%. So I mean, it's hopefully this ends soon. Whether it's Trump
I
tacos
don't
out like he normally does, or
unfortunately, it's not going to end anytime soon because whether or not we reach an agreement with Iran, and I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you, Spencer. Even if it becomes all sunshine and butterflies and rainbows,
I do like rainbows.
it's going to take weeks, if not months, for that to iron itself out and for like people and for those ships and those tankers to get things figured out.
Hmm.
Not including the losses that those countries have taken with their oil fields and with their all that considered, like Iran has lost oil fields in their production.
Yeah.
So you also have to consider, like, have any companies or any countries have lost tankers since then? And no matter what, we're not going to see any sort of like come down from this until probably next year.
Yeah, and I mean, when you say come down, things like that, I mean it'll most likely the situation probably resolve itself one way or another next year, but the ongoing effects are going to be felt for quite a while because inflation takes forever to come back down, no matter what was the cause of it. So it'll be interesting to see what transpires with that. So let's move into one of our first, and we'll brief Touchly as well before we move on. Operation Project Freedom is done. It took
reportedly
27 hours. This is coming to us from News Nation.
News Nation.
In a post from the man himself, shows us that based on the request of Pakistan and other countries, the tremendous military success that we had during the campaign against the country of Iran, and additionally the fact that the great progress that has been made toward a complete and final agreement with representatives of Iran, we have mutually agreed that while the blockade will remain in full force and in effect, Project Freedom, the movement of the ships through the Strait of Hormuz, will be paused for a short time to see whether or not the agreement can be finalized and signed. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody.
Man. Typical Cinco de Mayo.
It's going to be after the show. We're getting drunk. I tell you, at this point, we just need to greet every day with a bottle of Jack and call it good. But yeah, so at this point, they could say that it's still, it's not. Project Freedom is done. It was never there to begin with, just because the man in charge decided to tweet that he was going to take charge of the Strait of Hormuz and escape and escort ships away from the strait. It's over. And that's the thing. It's every time Trump starts to come up with this grand scheme or grand idea, it takes anywhere between a day, maybe 3, before we hit another taco, and that's that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, what? Like, at least commit to the bit, bro.
Right. At least commit to the bullshit you're trying to sell. The snake oil, for God's sakes.
Like, at least commit to the lemonade you're drinking.
You're right. All right, so let's barge into some of our narrative stories today. And I posted a TikTok about this yesterday, and I didn't know that this happened last week. That's my bad. I had a rough few days and a rough weekend.
Oh, God.
So let's go ahead and start with kind of a very that's not the right tab. This tab. Kind of a shocking thing that happened during a hearing with Congress, in which Senator Coons asked the judicial nominees. Well, here I'll tell you what. We'll just let the clip speak for itself.
Mr. Mark, if I might, just tell me about the 22nd Amendment. What does it provide?
The 22nd Amendment, Senator, my career has mostly been in criminal prosecution. I haven't had an opportunity to use that one specifically.
That should scare the fuck out of everybody to start with. If you're a judicial nominee, you should know the fucking Constitution and what every single amendment does. But I digress.
Anyone able to help on the 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution?
Well, Senator, I believe it is the amendment that deals with a 2-term limitation on
Correct.
the
It states no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. Mr. Mark, is President Trump eligible to run for president again in 2028?
The answer is very clear and simple. No. N-O. 2 letters. That's it. What did we get?
Senator, without considering all the facts and looking at everything, depending on what the situation is, this to me strikes.
There's no situation. There's none. There's no situation. The 22nd Amendment clearly states that a person can only serve 2 terms as the commander-in-chief. That's it. End of discussion. Let's all go for lunch. That's it.
is more of a hypothetical of something that could be
It's not a
raised.
hypothetical. Has President
hypothetical.
Trump been elected president twice?
President Trump has been certified the president of the United States 2 times.
Is he eligible to run for a third term
Again, clear answer.
No.
No.
under our Constitution?
I would have to review the
All I need to
actual
tell
wording
you
of
is
it.
the language of the constitutional amendment that makes it clear that no, he is not
Look
eligible.
at the girls like just like smiling behind him,
Constitution
like being like,
prevents President Trump from seeking a third term.
Anybody else? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller?
Anybody willing to apply the Constitution by its plain language in the 22nd Amendment?
oh
No,
my
no.
god.
Nobody?
Nobody.
No. Great. Thanks. Let's move on. Holy shit. There's so much to unpack there. My watch just yelled at me because it was too loud.
A paid candidate is not a genuine candidate.
It's insane to me that people that are being put up on the confirmation block in the Congress to be a fucking judge, a
Yeah.
federal judge in the United States of America, number one, can't state every single Constitution amendment verbatim, backwards, and maybe even in Latin. Number two, if you say, "Oh, I'd have to go back and take a look at the context and maybe it was a hypothetical," it's not a fucking hypothetical. Donald Jehoshaphat Trump has served 2 terms as president of the United States. Whether he serves the second term is fucking to be seen. But the fact that you can't go, when Senator Coons said, "Is Donald Trump eligible to run for a third term?" The answer, clear and simple, they should have cut him off. The answer is no. No and oh. How
No.
do you say it in Spanish? Also no. This just drives me up. And this is clearly what they're setting up. They're clearly setting up the federal government and the federal judiciary branch packed full of judges for when Trump
Yeah.
inevitably runs for a third term. They're just gonna be like, fuck it.
But the
go for
thing
it."
is, I don't think he's gonna be alive for a third term.
I mean,
like-
maybe he has some sort of like Lazarus effect and just comes back from the dead or something, but
I don't know
I don't know.
how. I don't know how because he. Oh my god! Like FBI agent that's watching my phone right now. Like, we
Yeah.
cool, bro, right? Like,
no.
but like in
I
all
put-
reality,
I put hashtag
he-
8647 in this episode. We're clear cut out of this. Out of that whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I'm gonna have police officers showing up in my house. You know,
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine.
No, we're
But,
live
like-
from my house. There's nothing coming from you. Everything's coming from my IP address. I'm gonna have the FBI here in 3 hours. What are you talking
But
about?
the thing is, though, is that he is the oldest president on record. Like, he is the oldest president. Like, Guinness Book of World Records right now. But he he wants to be like the person to have the oldest thing ever on whatever, which is fine. You know, you go, Glenn Coco. But at the same time, he needs another 6 years of this. I don't foresee him, like, health-wise, surviving another 6 years because of his health.
Well, I tell you what, let's hear it from the whore's mouth itself.
No idea what businesses do. So that businesses can deduct 100% of the cost of new facilities, equipment, and capital investment in the first year. It used to take 38 years of deduction. Now you get it done in one. You can take one so you can expand. I think that's what made us so successful in the first term, but now we have it for a 10-year period. So you have it for a while. I really was going to make it for a 1-year period. That would mean you spend all your money immediately. Now, unfortunately, I gave you too much time. I was sort of against that. I said, let's do it for a shorter period of time, but we did it. It's the right thing. And this way, when I get out of office in, let's say, 8 or 9 years from now, I'll be able to use it. I'll be able to use it myself.
Half the crowd is just like, he's not serious, right? He's joking. No?
Why are they laughing though?
Because they're sycophants. What do you mean? Why are they laughing? They're paid to be in the room.
I don't care, but like, oh god, I kind of wish, like, I you know how like late night shows usually have like crowd laughter like automatically put in like their show. sometimes I just wish it was like that.
Oh yeah, like canned laughter. Maybe that's what they have. Maybe we don't know.
I
Maybe
really,
it's just canned laughter.
honestly,
There's nobody in the room. It's just canned laughter and Donald Trump speaking to himself.
I kind of hope so, because in all reality, I like, why would you laugh at something like that? Because it's kind of concerning a little bit.
Well, I mean, if we want to go down the road of concerning, we're gonna have a very long episode.
Ugh,
Um,
I'm over it.
yeah. So it's insane to me how these Republicans and these MAGA judicial nominees can't even do the minimal thing and say, hey, that 22nd Amendment, it's a pesky little amendment, I know, but prohibits this orange fucker from running for a third term. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later. That's the end of the show.
But the
That's
thing
it.
is, Spencer, why do you think that there's a conservative majority in the Supreme Court? Why do you think?
I know. And there's news stories coming out that Alito and Thomas might retire before the end of Trump's term, and then we've got 2 more. We're fucked. If that happens, we are fucked. You
Like
can
literally,
say
like
goodbye to anything that the Democrats want to do.
that's the whole thing. Like, but like at the end of the day, like thankfully they take their job seriously enough where most of the things that they put through are okay. But
Mhm.
like the gerrymandering case against the Voter Rights Act.
Oh, the Voting Rights Act, yeah. That was
Um,
nuts. We should be talking about that. We'll talk about it later this week.
Yeah. And then like the, obviously like Roe versus Wade, things like that. But like all of that aside, at least they practice their law degrees with some sort of freaking like ethics.
Right.
But we know that if they retire before the end of Trump's presidency in this term, obviously it's going to be a shit show.
It'll be a
But-
shit show.
But I'm kind of hoping that, respectfully, he kind of croaks before then.
Yeah. Look, at the rate that things are going, now, I don't know. I don't want to say I hope that it ends before the end of his term, but the way things are going right now, there's a lot of discourse and a lot of negativity around Donald Jr. Baker Trump. And it's nuts that we live in an age where
You made a middle name for him.
it's insane that we have to live through now 3 fake assassination attempts for us to for them to try to get us to support and rally around the president of the United. No, all 3 attempts were fake. I'm gonna say that right now. Look at me, full screen. Look at me, you and me, right now, full screen. There we go. All 3 fucking fake. Number 1, the ear, laughable that they're like, oh, he healed so much in 2 days that his ear miraculously looks like it hasn't had anything wrong with it. But problem number 1. Number 2, how do you allow somebody with 2 guns, 3 knives, and I think they had an whatever the hell the name of the thing is, the metal detector looking thing, get through security at the top floor and then Naruto run through the rest of security? How? And now reports are coming out that he never fired a shot. None. Didn't fire a single shot. All shots were fired by Secret Service agents. They didn't hit him once, but one of the Secret Service agents got shot. So either they're like, oh, wait, he didn't shoot at us at anything. Hey, Jim. And he shoots. That's what I imagine. Like, hey, Jim, you're going to take one for the fucking team. And I'm going to put a bullet right into your ballistic vest so it doesn't kill you, but you're gonna take some time off. Okay, sure. So,
Oh my God.
and just one final thing too on the subject of Donald Trump and the judicial nominees. This also happened as well.
Who won the 2020 election?
Senator, I wanted to be mindful of the canons here. I know this question has come up many
Why do you think it's come up, Michael Hendershot? Why? Why? Give me 3 words. Give me 3 reasons why.
times in these hearings, and it's become an issue of significant political dispute. And
Wrong. No dispute whatsoever. We're now 6 years away from the 2020 election, and we can say with 150% certainty that Joseph Robin Hood Biden won the fucking vote and won the fucking
Robin.
election. That's it, Michael. That's it.
debate. So, with that, I'd say that that President Biden was certified the winner of the 2020 election.
So you're unwilling to say he won the election. How about you, Mr. Roberts?
Here we go. Hypothetical man coming in.
I'm sorry, Senator.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jones.
I apologize, Senator. I have this same answer as my colleague, Senator.
Same answer as the previous one.
The previous nominee. The Senate did. in fact-
Mr. Coons, how about you?
Thank you, Senator. And I have the same answer as Mr.
Same
Hendershot.
answer. Mr.
Oh, okay.
Same answer, Senator.
4 for 4.
I am amazed.
Oh, and I forgot. That's one thing about this clip I forgot as well. Oh, hello, Cassian. I think it was Chuck Grassley, who's 1,000 fucking years old. He said something about along the lines of his mic was hot, and he said, "What if we say Biden won?" And then that's why Blumenthal kind of looks over to his right, like, did he just fucking say that on a hot mic? Because, hey, Chuck Grassley, I know that your ears aren't working very well anymore because you're in your 90s. Joseph Robinette Biden won the election. It's as easy as that. 5 words. 6 words. That's it. That's all you need to do. And tell you what, if you say it, they'll vote for you. Why not? Because we're living in a day and age. We're living in a society where we can't admit the things that are glaringly correct. Glaringly correct. And it's gotten to a point where it's just ridiculous. They can't say Joseph Robinette Red Robin Biden won the 2020 election. That's it. That's all you need to do. Confirmed.
Yep.
You just have an emotional support kitty.
Yeah, he's a needy cat. It's okay.
Yeah. All right, let's move into something that's a little bit close to home for you in the good old state of
Minnesota!
the Minnesota State Senate has passed the first ever ban on the semi-automatic weapons. I believe there's something else in there too. Of course, this is just passing the Senate. It still has to go through the Minnesota House, where it's, I believe you said, expected to fail, correct?
So they say that it's expected to fail. Here's the thing, though. There's a lot of different things that are happening with this ban.
Get coaching, folks.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about this because I've had it.
Okay, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold on. Are you seeing the same thing? Are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Okay. So,
Misinformation.
for those of you watching on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, and on Instagram as well, we've been trying for 3 weeks to try to get live. Oh, I should probably put myself live on. I'll show them. Don't worry. We've been trying to get on TikTok for the longest time. Because it's tough because we have to use different stream keys, things like that, to be able to multi-stream through all the services. So we figured I'll just use my TikTok live studio, and we'll go live like that. So we were just presented this glorious thing. Okay, Jamie, you might want to back up your phone a little bit. Um,
I'm just so...
as soon as we were done talking about Joseph Red Robin Biden, our live has been flagged for misinformation.
Because we're talking about the House hearing.
Yeah, we're talking about information that can be readily and verifiably proven through multiple sources. And we get a flag for misinformation. So TikTok, if you're watching, and I know you are, pick out one of these, because that's wrong. That's that's gonna definitely clear up our relationship with TikTok.
That's insane.
But yeah, so I'll just kill the live. There's no need to. Wow, wait, we're still live.
Yeah, we're still live.
Okay, I'll appeal at a certain point.
You just ended up getting a violation.
For what? For misinformation, which is information I was presenting.
I just cannot believe it flagged you for misinformation.
As soon as we were done talking about Joseph Biden winning the 2020 election, which he did, TikTok, flag for misinformation.
I'm telling you right now, TikTok, Biden won the 2020 election. And I'm telling you right now, they had a hearing in the House about people coming in to be a part of the judicial branch, and they say that they cannot say with a matter of fact that Biden won the 2020 election. They will not say yes or no.
You should probably look at the correct camera.
I'm looking at this camera.
Yeah, you're looking at TikTok. You're looking directly at TikTok.
I'm looking right at TikTok. I'm having a discussion with TikTok right now.
Oh boy, I can't wait to have that discussion with somebody from TikTok. All right, so moving on. So again, Minnesota State Senate has passed 14 out of the 17 bills related to gun violence prevention, further into legislation pushing it past into the House, including a ban on semi-automatic assault weapons. This is coming as the Senate and the House have debated for quite some time addressing gun violence prevention. The Senate held almost a 7-hour judiciary and public safety hearing on bills related to gun violence, and they were passed, including that ban on semi-automatic assault rifles.
Yes. So this was all because mainly of the Annunciation school shooting last August or September of last year. A lot of the parents and with their classmates came together and said, we want gun reform, we want bans on assault rifle or assault weapons because of the amount of shootings that have been happening. And personally, on my end of the spectrum, I full-heartedly believe that there should be reform. There should be gun reform. There is way too many acts of violence that deal with guns, and I feel like there should be something better to be done about them. So with the pass in the Senate, it does a little bit differently in Minnesota state legislature. I'm not sure about any other states. However, in state legislature here, it's done in the Senate and then it goes on to the House and it's passed either way. They passed it with a 33-34 vote. I'm not very happy about those odds because per multiple articles, there are a large percentage of individuals who are for the ban or the reform of the assault weapon style ban. So just pulling from the press release from the House of Representatives, because per this press release from the end of March, March 27th, this was their last press release before everything else that has happened in the House. The head topic of this is like House Republicans refuse to stand with the majority of Minnesotans who support gun violence prevention measures. So House Republicans vote in lockstep to deny common sense gun violence prevention measures. And this is what I don't understand about this, because it doesn't matter. Like, so obviously Minnesota is widely blue because land does not vote. A lot of our western and northwestern areas of Minnesota are protected land or national park or state park. So unfortunately, a lot of those lands are incredibly rural and vote Republican, but because of the of how less populated they are, they usually vote Republican. But because of how densely populated the Twin Cities are and Duluth, we usually are a blue state. But pulling directly from this article in this press release, it says polls have regularly found that the majority of Minnesotans support these proposals, including a recent poll that found 79% of suburban Minnesotans support an assault weapon style ban, with the Twin Cities 71% and Greater Minnesota 62% also overwhelmingly in support. It also goes on to state that since 2016, all 10 of the highest casualty mass shootings have involved the use of at least one firearm equipped with a high capacity magazine. Research shows that states with restrictions on magazine size experience mass shootings at least less than half the state. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Research shows that states with restrictions on magazine size experience mass shootings at least less than half this rate of states without restrictions. So there's proof in the pudding. And this is what I don't understand, why Republicans want to sit here and say, oh, that's my Second Amendment right, not my rights. Here's the thing, is that the Second Amendment right was written so long ago, and our firearms have evolved in drastic measures since then. And if you really want to figure out how, the Smithsonian and other places, even the NRA, have museums for this.
Mm-hmm.
From the start of the Revolutionary War, it became from musket style firearms all the way to like musket style weapons. Rifles were even slower, so it took around 45 seconds up to a minute to reload, because you had to manually reload it every time.
Yeah, I mean a traditional person who has used a musket for a long time can reload 15-20 seconds a bullet, but that's still 3-4 bullets a minute, where we're talking what, 30 bullets every 5 seconds with an AR-15 or a AK-47 or anything. A semi-automatic assault rifle should not be in the arms of everyday Americans. I'm sorry, but unless you have a military reason to own a semi-automatic assault rifle, no, you should not. Everyday Americans should not own them. I'm sorry, but I understand handguns and revolvers, one shot, every few seconds, where you could use that for defense, for standing your ground or, things like that. But I'm sorry. I've never said this publicly before. You should, an everyday American, regardless of their reasoning, should not own a semi-automatic assault rifle. Period.
Well, the thing is too is that I know an individual that unfortunately passed away because of these circumstances, that accidentally shot himself because he was playing with his revolver and shot himself, and it came in through his, I believe, his right side, exited out his left side, ended up needing a transplant of his whole entire intestinal tract, his spleen, I believe, had his gallbladder removed, stomach was removed. There were so many things that he had to have a transplant for. He had a liver transplant. Basically anything that was abdominal, he had to have a transplant for. And he ended up surviving. He had a 2% chance to survival at that time. Survived it, This was in 2013, I believe, or 2014. Ended up sadly passing away in 2023, I believe, is when he passed away, due to, his body just not being able to keep up with the transplants and like the medications. But that was just, fucking around with a damn
Right.
revolver. But when it comes to, the Second Amendment rights, and like, do I think that no one should own guns? Absolutely not. I have avid hunters in my family that love to hunt. Do
Right.
I think you need a semi-automatic weapon to do so?
No.
No.
No, you're not hunting Bigfoot. You're hunting
No.
you're hunting a deer, or you're hunting whatever you may be hunting. You
So
use a-
like so the thing is that like my sister and her long-term boyfriend, like if common law still existed in Wisconsin, they would be married. They hunt during crossbow season, they hunt during gun season. He's like they were able to shoot two bears while they were doing while bear season was around. They've shot deer. Like they do that all the time. And like they do actually like, go through and like cut up the deer and like eat the meat and stuff. Like that's not for me. I'm not whatever. But that's just not something that I'm into. But at the same time, like they usually get most of their crop during crossbow season, and then they usually get like their big buck or whatever during gun season. However, I believe their guns that they use are not a semi-automatic weapon.
Yeah.
So even though that they're avid gun collectors, like I trust them with my life because they are incredibly smart with their weapons and they know what to do with them. Like they're even her boyfriend is an avid gun collector, so like he's got weapons that are like showcased in a whole entire case like on his wall and stuff like that he absolutely loves and adores. But at the same time, like back when the Second Amendment was created and founded and put in to our Bill of Rights, what like pistols and rifles were flint locked.
Yeah.
Like you had to use flint and steel to operate them. And again, like this wasn't anything like this is nothing like what we have today. Like do people own like those kind of material? Yes. But that's more of a collector's item. We also had cannons back then. We also had swords back then, people that used to fight with them. Again, the right to bear arms is for protecting your home, protecting your own, like protecting your land. Like this is nothing to do with protecting your children. You're sitting here and you're going to sit here and say that you were going to protect your right to own a gun versus looking at your child or looking at your nieces or nephews or looking at your brother or your sister and saying, I'm sorry, I support my right to own a gun or my friend's right to own a gun before I'm going to protect your life. Are you kidding?
Yeah. And that's unfortunately what it is nowadays. It's to a point where the Second Amendment has been completely blown out of proportion, and nobody can seem to stop these people that are hell bent on owning a semi-automatic assault rifle or semi-automatic gun in general. There's just no reason for an everyday civilian to be strapped with one of those.
Well, and that's the only thing that Republicans can bring forth to the table as an argument is the Second Amendment right. And you know what? Great. I'm glad that you can bring that argument to the table, but it's beaten in. Like you can only beat that horse so much. So find something else to argue about. And this bill also puts forth better mental health practices and like training and everything like that to like better help individuals for who have been part of gun violence and towards the community, towards the schools, because obviously like they need the support. And unfortunately, like there have been lots of shootings around our area. Like there was a school shooting in our Southdale school district, I think
Mhm.
like 3 years ago. So it's just like it exists way too often. And there was just a horrid mass shooting down south, like what, a week ago, and
Mhm.
an infant was killed. And people are just like, oh, not my Second Amendment, right? But you're okay, like thoughts and prayers to that infant. What about what about your Second Amendment right when the president was allegedly nearly shot and killed?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
So it's ridiculous. And I mean, we could go on and on and on. Because
but
you and
that's
I
why,
are lockstep in this.
yeah.
You know.
The one thing I want to mention though, that they do say that they think it's not going to pass and become law because the House is very divided within it. It's a tied House.
Mhm.
So they think it's not going to pass because of that. However, I think because Minnesotans are so
Fed up.
for yeah, they're so for the ban and they are in support of it. I don't understand like why they wouldn't. So they have that vote, I think next week. I can't remember though. And then on top of it, like if they don't vote for it, it's obvious that they're not voting in the favor of their own constituents. And that's what you have to remember come November, is that if your elected official is not voting in the favor of your elected, in favor of your like area and of your district, it's obvious that they're being paid.
Yeah. I agree. And this news story doesn't specifically spell out when the next vote would happen. I would assume it would have to be called for a vote from the state house. So we'll keep you up to date on our socials on that one and our website as well, at uncomfortablenarrative.com, where we will follow the latest on this because it's a big one. It's the first ever one that's been passed by a state senate, and if it passes the state house, I mean, I'm assuming Governor Walz will happily skip to lock step and just sign his name away right before he leaves. Just give one big one of these to MAGA before he departs. But our last we have a couple more actually. And I can't believe I'm about to ask this. Do we believe Marjorie Taylor Greene?
In what sense?
Like, well, she's been kind of on a tear lately when it comes to kind of pissing off a lot of Republicans and kind of sharing the how the sausage is made, you know, kind of thing. And this video came out a few days ago from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's take a listen.
When it comes down to victimizing some of the most innocent people in America, these were young girls that were teenagers that desperately wanted to be models one day. They wanted to be seen as beautiful. They wanted to be rich. They wanted to be famous. And of course, every teenager wants things like that. And they were victimized by Ghislaine Maxwell and others. And they were victimized by the richest, most powerful men, not only in our country, but in the world. And they were used by Jeffrey Epstein as sexual tools for his own satisfaction and his friend's satisfaction. To actually be asked by the President of the United States to back off and not help these women, that's when MAGA died. That's when the entire thing shattered for me. So I kept my name on. Then we spent 8 weeks shut down. Remember that? We spent 8 weeks shut down. By the way, that was to stop the Epstein resolution from getting a House vote. That's what that shutdown was about. Finally, they reopened the government and a brand new Democrat member of Congress was sworn in, and we got the 218th signature, released the resolution, passed it overwhelmingly, which was hilarious to me, watching all these Republicans, oh yeah, all of a sudden I'm voting to release the Epstein files, what a pathetic joke. Weak men, oh my gosh, they're so weak.
Not a pedophile.
So, yeah, I mean, that kind of, again, if we are led to believe what Marjorie Taylor Greene says, which I can't believe I'm debating it in my head, that's something we've kind of known all along, is Trump behind the scenes is running the show in all three branches. And when it comes to this Jeffrey Epstein scandal, I'm starting to think that it will never, ever cause anybody on that list to be punished, ever. And
Well,
that
yeah.
pisses me the fuck off. It really does. I don't understand how we can live in a world where we can allow these elite, multi-million, billionaire people to sexually exploit children, and we're just supposed to turn the blind fucking eye. Like, I know after Pam Bondi was fired and everything with that, they kept saying, oh, let's move on from the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. The fuck we are. The fuck we are. Like, you're telling me that you want me to forget that all of these very powerful people, all of these people that have been on this list of Jeffrey Epstein's for years, decades even, we're just supposed to up and forget that they sexually exploited and quite possibly murdered children, right? That's what we're supposed to believe, right?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to believe. That's what we're being told to believe. Don't believe anything you read. Listen to the words that come out of my mouth, and everything will be okay.
The thing is that like when the first shutdown happened, it's like, yeah, obviously there were issues regarding, what was it, funding for DHS?
Honestly, at this point, it's felt like 7 years. The last 18 months. It literally has felt like 7 years. I can't keep track of what happened a week ago.
I know.
I keep thinking to myself, we've been in this war with Iran for 7-8 months. No, it's been 2.5 months. Not even.
But that's the thing. Like, this is why, like, I had this conversation a couple weeks ago with somebody. It's like making sure that you're like touching grass when you need to. It's like make sure that you're not going insane in this like spiral of like news and like, because it changes within a blink of an eye. So like when it comes to like believing Marjorie Taylor Greene, do I believe her? When it comes to that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I believe that she is just telling it now because it's suiting her and like her agenda?
Right.
Yes.
Yes. That's the thing, is she is on this rampage to completely burn Donald Jingle Jimer Trump. That
I love the middle name that you're.
I can't believe I'm living in a world where I can look at a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene saying this shit and go, yeah, you know what, she's right. And I just want to like slap myself because what am I talking about? I know, I'm fixing it. Shut up.
You're fine. I mean, in all honesty, like, I feel like at this point, we're all becoming numb to like what's happening. So at this point, it's like, all right, Marjorie, we've been sitting here for forever. We know that this has been happening. We know that this has been an issue this entire time. So why are you?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you bringing it up now? What is the reason?
Right. You were in Congress for the entirety of the first term, and 7 years of the second term. Why now? You know, it really shows that. Excuse me. Anybody in Congress will go on this rampage and talk all this shit when it benefits them. And when they want to get reelected, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene isn't. I don't think she's running again for something, is she? I don't know off the top of my head if she is or not.
I like. I feel like she's gonna run for president in 2028.
Okay.
I 100%. So you know when she put in her she made her speech, her announcement or whatever, that she was stepping down.
Yep.
100% like her speech gave, I'm going to step back. Like it was very much like, I'm stepping back because I'm going to be running in 2028.
Surprise!
Especially too because like all this crap with Trump, it's like she also like there were also very concerning things when it came to her like Trump's actions toward her and protection like her like I don't let me be very careful with my phrasing here. When it comes to politicians, do I want any of them to have their lives in danger because of whatever party they voted for or whatever beliefs that they believe in? No. Do I believe that there should be consequences to your actions? Yes.
Yeah.
And if stupid is, stupid does. So when it comes to Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, raising the red flag now and like coming out and speaking about what has happened and why it happened, why didn't you blow the whistle then? Like you weren't being like, that's not being a whistleblower. You could have just said, you could have just aligned with the Democrats. You could have just been you could have just been a centered leaning Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you've been a MAGA leaning person like throughout your campaign doesn't mean that you can't be speaking for your constituents and saying, this is what I'm seeing within the party lines. This is what I'm seeing is going to be coming out for my community and my district. This is like, you can be smart. You're a woman. Like, no offense, Spencer. Like, no offense. Like, professionally speaking, like, women just have better intuition than this. So seeing like like Laura Loomer and like these individuals that are women and just like running, like getting these congressional seats or these political seats and then being fucking idiots. Marjorie could have spoken out sooner instead of being like, oh, now that I'm not getting my oats, now I'm going to talk about it. And the reason, like, I don't even know why she decided to speak up about it, especially at that, wherever she was at. Like, I don't know the why.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that I can think about is that she's, again, laying the little, like, stepping stones.
Yep.
So that way she can run in 2028. Especially if Vance or whoever's part of Trump's administration, like, if he croaks or whatever, like, do I really fully believe that Trump is going to try to run in 2028? I don't think so. I fully don't think so. I honestly, because of how blue we're going to end up voting in November, I don't like it's going to be hard for him to be able to do that because of how blue we're going to end up taking over the Senate and the Senate and the House. There's going to be no way. And if that happens, it's going to end up being a whole complete revolutionary war. And then by that time, we won't be able to go live because everything's going to go dark.
Well, I mean, we can't go live anyway after this.
Well, you know what? That's fine. Whatever. But at the same time, you also have to understand that she's laying little like seeds. She's laying little seeds. And she's like pinpointing them of being like, okay, well, I'm gonna like start them now because this is around the time because 2027 is when people really start campaigning for their presidency. So I have a feeling she's gonna be like Marjorie Taylor Greene for president.
Oh, that's terrifying. Oh God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. The one final thing we want to wrap up here with today, and again, I can't believe I'm using this as a source. And I have to find it now because I put it somewhere on all of my screens. There it is. But here we go from TMZ. The House of Representatives has used $300,000 of taxpayer money as shush money in sexual harassment allegation, basically settlements. This is coming directly from TMZ, who are citing multiple documents. Nancy Mace had the Office of Congressional Workplace Rights hand over settlement documents. The show 6 former members of the House of Representatives had their cases settled with taxpayer money.
Of
And
course.
if that doesn't piss you off, Canada's good for you, I guess. Mexico, I guess. You need to get out because I'm going to start burning shit to the ground. Because at a certain point, I'm going to stop paying taxes. Because if my taxes are going to be used for this and whatever the hell Trump's got in his head that day,
Are you
I'm out.
kidding? The amount of money that's been spent for this Iran war so far could have erased national student debt. It could have paid for water worldwide already. It could have paid for clean water, mind you, worldwide already. Mind you, we don't have clean water in our own nation in most parts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, there's a lot of things that are happening that
I'm just going
are.
to leave this running for now because this is fun to watch.
But at
With
the
all
same
of our money
time,
go
like,
up.
But like at the same time, like I don't even fully believe that number because the Pentagon is calling bullshit because they haven't passed a fucking audit in eons. And then on top of it, the Democrats in the House and in the Senate are saying like we don't believe that this is what it's costing. We think it's gonna be this much. And then on top of it, Iran is saying that we're thinking is costing around this much. Honestly, I think it's going to be about $2 trillion by 2027 before he asks for more money. So, mind you, we could have eradicated all of the issues, all the crises in the United States before this Iran war started. So it's like if you have all this money to do this with just our taxpayer money, mind you, then why do we have student debt? Why do we not have clean water in a lot of the cities in our United States? Why are we having homelessness? We could have eradicated homelessness for decades. Why are we dealing with the healthcare issues that we're dealing with? Like there's a list of things that's just pissing me off at this point. And people aren't angry enough. People aren't being fucking angry enough. And it's like at this point too, this war has costed an entire airline to shut down. And
but that was the Biden administration's fault, remember?
Oh, apparently, at this point, like I'm wondering, like, when did the Biden administration leave?
About 17 months ago.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here wondering myself, like, why am I being made to look like a fucking crazy person? Because I'm getting mad about this, and I'm looking at everyone being like, why are we paying taxes right now? While people like Disney are paying no taxes and getting a tax refund. And there's people like you and me and other people who can barely make it paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why, you know what? Nepal fell in a day and had their new government voted in via Discord.
I'm down.
Like, why? we could have had this done already.
Yeah.
And on top of it, they rioted and they like protested and everything, and then they went in and cleaned it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, we did our thing. We did this, we did that. Okay, now we can leave. We're good.
Yep. It's insane. It really is. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much more money we spend. So want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Coming up next week on the 12th of May, holy hell, we're going to be speaking with Oliver Larkin, Democrat out of the Florida 23rd District, about his election, his campaign. We're really excited to have our first guest. I mean, that's going to be an honor in of itself. But just to kind of talk about what his policies are, what his views are, how he can make his district a lot better than it is now. So it'll be fun to have somebody on our show that's not us, just kind of be able to discuss those things. So yeah, that'll be next week on the 12th. You can follow all of our socials on our website, uncomfortablenarrative.com. If you're watching on Twitter, check the chat. Our link is in there as well. You can follow our show on Spotify, all of our socials on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, maybe TikTok. We'll see where we are once we end the live here today.
Spencer's gonna get banned.
I'm gonna get fucking banned, homie. I don't know what we did. Misinformation, my ass.
Well, and the thing is too, it's like we obviously, TikTok's owned by some rich people and yada yada. But it'll be awesome too, like if people are interested in hearing about what their local representative that's running or local senate or whatever is running, and they want to hear about what they're running for and they want to see them on the podcast, obviously send it in. We have that plugged into our link tree as well. So definitely, like, we want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know in the chat. Send us an email. Send us a letter by carrier pigeon. That might be what we have to do soon. But it'll be it'll be a lot of fun. The show is. We've got. I can count right now. I know you can't see it, but I have 36 people watching us right now, which is unreal for a live. I mean,
Twitter.
We had 400.
Yeah, I do pull up on my computer.
Okay. We did have like 400 people watching during our live stream of the shooting. But I mean, everybody was flocking to Twitter trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So I think we just caught it early. Yeah. So if you have any comments, anything at all, shoot us an email, find us on socials, uncomfortablenarrative.com. But yeah, that'll do it. That's all I got. Anything else from you, Angela?
No, other than just we're continuing to work on the midterm elections and like figuring out where to hone in on more. And I'm still working on that spreadsheet / document, so that way we can do more podcasting on that. But if there's continuing to be breaking news, obviously we'll do those episodes as well. But we meet on Tuesdays and usually Fridays. So usually unless one of us forgets.
Unless the host and producer just completely forgets it's Friday, and then I get a text message Saturday morning, hey, what the hell? What happened yesterday? Oh.
Usually I message him and say, hey, you forgot about something. That's that.
That's usually how it goes. But yeah. That'll do it for tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching this on a replay on Spotify, we appreciate you listening and watching as well. Again, you can find our socials at uncomfortablenarrative.com, where you can find our website, socials, email the show, and hopefully we'll be live on TikTok again next time.
Not getting restricted.
Lord have mercy. So yeah, that'll do it.
But happy May the 5th. Happy Revenge of the 5th, guys.
Happy Revenge of the 5th, everybody. Have a great. What's the 6th? Is there one for the 6th of May?
I don't think there is. No.
Well,
it was May the 4th. Like May the 4th be with you. It was Revenge of the 5th.
Yep.
I think if there is anything I forgot. To be honest,
I don't think there is. To be completely honest with you.
I don't know. All I know is today's Cinco de Mayo. I don't do Taco Tuesday, so it's always Revenge of the 5th.
Well, I mean, every Taco Tuesday is Taco Tuesday for more than one reason. So that'll do it for everybody here at the Uncomfortable Narrative. For Angela J, I am Spencer Hart. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.